Today, we're talking about everything we're hyped about in 2025, from the most anticipated games to the ones we think could be turds. Plus, we're looking into the future. What are our craziest predictions for video games in 2025? Stick around to find out. Welcome, friends, to this week's episode of Good Playing With You, the weekly gaming podcast. I'm Dan Whitehill, and as always, I'm joined by my trustworthy team of Matts, Matt Lord.
Hey, how's it going?
And Matt Maulding.
Hey now.
We've got a lot of great stories to jump into, but first, let's talk about 2025. What is going to be, most anticipated game for 2025? What do you think is going to be the best game? What's the one that's got you chomping at the bit? Maulding, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think one of my most anticipated games of 2025, if it actually, now put the caveat, if these games actually do come out in 2025, because we know games love to be delayed, but my first one has got to be Avowed. Now, we haven't seen too much of it. We've seen a little bit of gameplay, and you know I need to see that gameplay before I get too excited about a game, but what we've seen so far really calls back to that Skyrim that I so very much love. It looks like we've got a lot of magic, looks like we've got a lot of swordplay, looks like we've got a lot of choice, which I absolutely love choice. I think we even saw maybe some environmental stuff where you can use in the environment, which I love, right from Baldur's Gate 3. All of that stuff combined makes me really, really hyped for Avowed this year. And I just really hope it does actually come out and it doesn't get delayed till 2026.
Good pick. I've heard strong
Are either
things.
of you excited for that?
Yeah, I've heard previews have been good.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get my take a little later on in the show on that one.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Lord, what about you? What's your first one?
My first one is going to be Death Stranding 2. If, depending on whether it comes out in 2025, I could use a little more Norman Reedus and his funky fetus. And we'll see. I don't know if that one's actually going to come out in 2025, but I am super hyped. I got to admit, I'm a little nervous for this installment. Kojima could actually be taking it a little off the rails because I felt like the first one, as much as it was off the rails, it had bumpers. This one, I think, is just going full-fledged nuts. So I don't know. I'm a little bit like, what's going on? I'm super I want it, but at the same time, I'm being a little apprehensive. So we'll kind of have to see if that one's going to drop in 2025. That's the main.
Matt Lord says more walking simulators 2025.
That is what I need in 2025, please. Yes.
I will wait and I will let you play that game, and then I will take your opinion with a grain of salt.
Wait to hear what you think about it while I put that $70 in the bank.
Yep, there you go.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, I'm going to, of course, take the low-hanging fruit, of course, because we're all thinking the same thing if it comes out. GTA 6 is going to be the atomic bomb set off in the game industry. It is already, as the largest entertainment property of all time with 5, 6 has also got to kill it. And it, from all accounts, looks like it will. I think the game looks fantastic. I think the Florida is a really perfect, location for it, especially after the hit was Vice City, and seeing how current and fun they're making it. I think the main characters look fascinating and fun. 2025 is Rockstar's to lose. And if they can't deliver, then, we'll see the other games pick up the potential sales. But right now, all eyes are on, GTA 6, and for a very good reason. And I'm more than psyched.
Is it right now, the moon phase or whatever prediction? Is it winter 2025? Is that what they were saying?
I think so.
Winter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I could see that. Hopefully they should. They really need to get that out, I think.
I mean,
we'll see.
I'm super excited for it, but let's hope that there's no horses that you have to brush and feed like Red Dead Redemption 2.
There were 3 meters, like a stamina and a hunger.
You had to clean them, feed them. Yeah.
Let's not talk about
You
our
could
Red Dead
not. You
Redemption
could not
2.
name them Sarah Jessica Parker. I think that was a big loss. I was really upset by that.
Well, the computer, like the system wouldn't let you name
It
that.
would not let you. It would not let you name your horse Sarah Jessica Parker.
That's
It's
so
one of my
funny.
favorite stories about Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's so random.
Maulding, what's your next pick?
Oh yeah, so my next one, I mean, if you know me at all and my taste in games, I'm really pumped for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is going to be a game, it's not on the Game Pass, so it's going to be a game that I'm going to buy on day one. I know exactly what I'm gonna get from the basic gameplay and from the gameplay loop. I'm really hoping there's some great surprises. I'm sure there will be. Monster Hunter is just such an incredible franchise that I cannot wait to sink my teeth back into. I put so many hours in Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise was a little bit of a letdown. I started playing it on the Switch and its graphics were just a little hard. And then it came out on Xbox and I got to play it all over again. Graphics got a little bit better with that, of course, because we're talking in a better quality. But I'm just, oh gosh, I'm super pumped for Monster Hunter Wilds. I know neither of you are excited for this game, but I am most definitely.
Maulding, I will admit, I really want to be hyped for this game, but it's just
so good. You're fighting giant monsters. How can you not love that?
To be honest, I bet if I played with you and we just started from scratch, I would have fun. That would would get me.
Start from scratch and watch people's on YouTube on how to do the weapons. Really increased my fun because the weapons are so intricate and so they have such variety in them that you really to master the weapons is really mastering the game.
Okay, good to know.
All right, Lord, what's your next game that you're so psyched for 2025?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Devs are.
We've been friends forever. I've never heard you talk about the first one, and this was a shocker to see it on your list. What the F? Defend your pick.
It's been like I've been just seeing a lot of I've been just seeing it around. You know, you're just like, oh, I'm seeing it here, seeing it there. It's popping up. Like I want to. It makes me want to also like jump back into the first one and like take another crack at that game because I thought that the first one was fun and interesting, and so
was it?
It was pretty good. It was all right.
It was tough. It was a tough game to get into.
Funky medieval itch that you might have, and I think
then you got that itch infected, and then you died from dysentery. Yeah,
exactly. And so I think this one is going to be one of those games that I think it'll come out with a sequel. And then like people will really be talking about this one. So I'm just this is one that I'm going to monitor. I think they're going to make it a good time. So this one, that's on my list.
I got to be honest with you. When I saw that you put this on there, I really didn't care for the first one, but I agree. I have the most hope for this one. I think that maybe they just needed to cut their teeth with the first. I want to like it too. But it's not my most anticipated. But if it's a good game, I'm more than happy to jump on it because it's a kind of like, place and world and that sort of stuff. It looks good. I want it to be good. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yep.
The next one for my list is going to be Fable. And again, we don't even know if it's going to be released, but dog, you have such good memories of the first Fable games. And from what we've seen, the mixed trailers we've seen and the smidgen of gameplay, this really seems to be capturing that English humor and that adventurous spirit the original had. And I want it to be so great. And I wanted it to be great in 2025. So that's why it's my second pick. I think it looks amazing. What do you guys think?
I'm going to talk about it a little bit in our next segment.
Oh
no! I think it's going to be a good time. I mean, I'm hoping it's sort of a return to form, and it has the elements of the first couple of games. I just because those first games were so fantastic, and I had a bit of nostalgia because you talked about that companion app that came with it, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I had so much fun playing the first two Fables. Like I'd really love for this one to be on par with those and just jumping back in and capturing that same magic. So please be good. And I hope it does come out this year. That'd be great. Be on my list.
I agree. And then I put, now I know we were supposed to put a couple in there, but of course I couldn't resist putting a couple more in there for myself because I'm me. And I just want to get your guys' reaction on them because I know that they're going to be a little bit more controversial picks. My first, like, other pick is Borderlands 4. Yes, the trailer looks like trash. And yes, it looks like everything we've already seen before and it's still generic. And yes, the heroes don't look that great. I want to love it. I really loved 2 so much, and then 3 was pretty good. And I loved Tiny Tina's. I had a great time with you in that one, Maulding. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love your enthusiasm. Got you on that, brother.
Yeah, it was fun.
But I really want 4 to be good. I want it to be good, and I want to like have the good times that we had before. So I'm hyped for Borderlands 4, even though it looks like not as that good. And then, of course, I'm really gonna go out on this limb and probably snap it off the tree and fall off it with John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Now, I love a good wave-based horde zombie shooter, and this looks to be the same thing. And the fact that it's coming from Saber Interactive, who not only has done a effing phenomenal job with World War Z because they just had another $10 DLC set in Vegas, and you bet your ass I was just playing it this past weekend, and it's phenomenal. The way Saber has treated World War Z, if this Toxic Commando can be just on the same level, we will be eating pretty until probably 2027 with that one. Yes, it's a dark horse, but it's one I'm willing to bet on.
I mean,
Nice.
It's a horse so dark I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, I had to look this one up, and yeah, I mean, it seems cool. John Carpenter's name's attached to it, so hey, the guy knows what he's doing. So I'm hoping it's gonna be a fun one. So good pick, Dan.
Thanks. I wanted something a little left field, so
Definitely.
All right, now moving on to the next topic. The most sus game of 2025, which we're calling the Concord Award, because we were all sus on that one, and then we all know how it ended up. So, gentlemen, tell me, which games are you looking at, and you're not exactly sure how they're going to land? Maulding, why don't you start?
I am completely sus on Fable. I think it's going to be a trash fire. I think it's
No,
going to be
what?
so bad. I know.
Who hurt you?
Listen,
Like, what happened here?
I was really, really excited. I mean, I think we were 25 when the last Fable came out. It was nearly like a quarter century ago or something that it came out. And it was not good. I was super hyped for that game, and it was not what I had hoped. So I don't necessarily think this Fable is going to be everything that we've dreamed of, but it is really good to keep those expectations low so that when it comes out of the gate and it turns out that it's an incredible game, we're going to be super happy, and I'm going to be super happy to play it. So I really hope that I'm wrong with it, because Fable is a really, really fun franchise. I mean, I think it is. Don't quote me on it. I think it's the first franchise where you had same-sex relationships with, I mean, there might be other games further back in like the PC world, but it was one of the first major releases where you could have a same-sex relationship in your game. And that was really important to me and really fun for me when I was a little gay peanut. So yeah, so we'll see what it turns out to be. What about you, Lord?
No, that's interesting. Wait, so did you just admit you didn't like the first Fables?
I did not think they were as good as I had hoped they were going to be when I played them. I was disappointed by them.
3 dropped the ball. The ending was
Yeah.
awful. 2 was just so fantastic that I just completely overwrite 3.
Yeah. My pick for this one, sorry, Maulding, but Avowed. Avowed has me.
More shots fired.
Avowed has me sussed up. Between Dragon's Dogma and Veilguard, we have not gotten this fantasy RPG locked in at all right now. I think fantasy RPGs are a mess. This game, though, could have potential, because I gotta admit that Xbox has kind of been cooking with, Indiana Jones, despite its flaws, is still a good game. And so I'm hoping this leads the same. I hope this goes the same route as Indiana Jones. But right now, just fantasy games in general are just kind of a mess. So this one has sus written all over it for me. We'll definitely be holding off until you guys tell me if it's good or not.
I'm not completely against you on this. I definitely see that because I have the same sort of feeling on it as I did with Outer Worlds, where Outer Worlds was a great game, but it really wasn't what I had hoped for, and I was slightly disappointed by it. So I do get that kind of Outer Worlds feeling for it, but it's like I said, my most anticipated game. So let's hope, knock on wood, that it's good.
Yeah. That was it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for my next one, or the one I'm most sus about, is the one I'm also pretty anticipated about. So not a huge surprise here with Borderlands 4. Creatively, I don't think that trailer was anything to look at. And from the logo to the guns to the battling to the weird beginning, it honestly looked a little creatively bankrupt, to be honest with you. But that doesn't keep me from wanting it. But I'm gonna buy it. But it could be a Suicide Squad. Who knows? I'm definitely sus that they are riding the coattails of their previous success. They're not adding. I heard they're adding double jump. Okay, so I like a mean double jump, but that is not going to redeem this franchise in my eyes. So I'm sus on it for 2025 for sure.
Yeah, understandably so. And you got one of the dev team people saying that they're getting rid of the toilet humor. That's major points against that game already. So
everyone likes a good turd joke.
Exactly.
Maulding, what's your next pick?
Yeah, I have another one. I'm very suspicious. Pardon me. I'm very suspicious of Elden Ring Night Rain. I think that it feels like it might be a half-baked idea that they're trying to get a little bit of cash out of this franchise, that maybe it's an easy way to do it versus going with a whole brand new thing. I don't know. It looks like you're playing the same old game. I also read that you can play single player and you can play with 3 player, but you can't play just you and one other person. You can't play 2 player. There's some reason. Yeah, there's some reason why you can't do that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Game's not out yet, so we don't know. But I'm a little suspicious about this game. Love Elden Ring so much. Spent so much time there. Looking forward to going back. I'm thinking about doing a stream with it possibly, because I still haven't played the DLC. But yeah, I'm a little suspicious about the old Night Rain.
This is a great pick, Maulding. Honestly, if I'm gonna, since I don't even have a second pick for most sus game, I'm gonna pick that as well.
Yeah, but you're gonna agree with it. Okay,
I just
perfect.
think
I like it.
it is. You're so right. I think I mentioned this when they showed it off at the Game Awards. I just said, man, we're revisiting the Elden Ring again. I would have really loved maybe even a brand new game because we just got the DLC. It's just, there's a lot of things going on, kind of going against this game. And to hear that it's also just going to be a multiplayer game, every game's a multiplayer game. We need single player games. So, sus.
Yeah, sus.
Yep, agreed. Well, my last pick is AC Shadows. Clearly, this should not be a surprise to anyone, but Ubisoft has been coasting on their own success for quite some time now. Assassin's Creed used to be an amazing franchise for a good reason. Not only was it really fun parkour, stealth, and combat for a long time, but then they would always add something new every single entry, and that's what I loved most about it. I don't know if you guys remember, but previously in Brotherhood, you could run a whole economy by buying shops and making money of it. And then there was the Brotherhood one where the tower defense mechanics, they have it. And then they had the one like Black Flag with the ships in it, where they built a whole new ship system. So much creativity in this series made it so fun to try every single time. And then we got the revamp. And with the revamp, it became the same open world cookie cutter template that we played over and over and over like any other game. And who doggy did it become boring. So look, people can get upset about like being woke and none of that makes me nervous. What makes me nervous is that Ubisoft is resting on their laurels. They're putting out the same game we played 100 million times without any new twist or thought here, and they're just readying themselves up for a sale to Tencent. And they wouldn't have to sell themselves if they actually did something different in their games.
Well, I hate to say it, but the elephant in the room is I think their twist is that they're putting a black samurai in the game. And that's like what they're riding on. And it's just like, but we need like some
With the dual
gameplay.
protagonist is not like a surprise.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah. And it's
not
just
enough.
like, it's not enough. The gameplay needs to still be there. Hello. Like the gameplay has to be there. I'm so with you. Like, because I gotta say it. Assassin's Creed has fallen so far from grace. It's really too bad because there's so much good stuff there. And I'm with you on that. Shadows, you can tell it's just kind of like, all right, what's new?
That definitely isn't gonna land very well, I don't think. And I feel bad for Ubi because they're kind of in a rough situation here. None of their games have hit, but they've kind of done it to themselves. All right, so that's enough of the
I do have one more. I have one more that I think I think is sus, and that is a game that I got really excited for when we saw it at the Game Awards, and that is Game of Thrones King's Road. Now, why I'm suspicious about this is since then I've heard little rumblings that this is actually a mobile game and not a console or PC game. So that is why I'm a little sus about old Game of Thrones. Because I am not interested in mobile games.
Yeah, good pick. Which is so funny because we all said, oh, it looks like the graphics aren't where they should be, but the audio and the faces and all that sort of stuff looks good. We should have known it was mobile.
Yeah, we should have.
Did not see that coming. Whether that's true or not, I don't think it's been released. That's just a rumor that's going on. Yeah. We don't know that for a fact, but if that is true, I'm very suspicious.
The rumor is it's mobile first, meaning it's going to Genshin Impact, is what they're, and that makes me even more sus. Still, you know what I mean? Nervous. So we're going to get it on our consoles, but they're going to be those mechanics and pay to win sort of stuff that I'm like, no, thank you.
No.
All right, now for the next one, and this is the most anticipated topic by yours truly. Let's return back to earlier in the pods where we had Nostra-Dumbass. I don't remember where that name came from, but we were making predictions or whatever.
A few episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, let's return to Nostra-Dumbass and channel him, make our predictions for 2025. Points going to the craziest and the wildest predictions, of course, that come true. I want to know your top 5 or so Nostra-Dumbass crazy predictions for 2025. Maulding, let's start with you.
Ooh, I don't know if I have 5, but my very first one is my prediction. Arc 2 is going to be canceled. We haven't seen anything about Arc 2 in a really long time. They've been working really hard on getting Arc Ascended up and running with the different worlds put together and upgraded for Arc Ascended. But we haven't heard anything about Arc 2. They had the cartoon out. I think the second part of the first season of the cartoon is going to be due out soon. But I think it's going to not happen, and I'm really worried about it. And also, I would put this on the sus list too, because Arc 2 was supposed to be, it's going to be third person, supposedly. Part of my love of Arc is that you're in first person doing everything. So I think Arc 2 is going to be canceled. I know you two don't care about it, but hopefully someone out there does care.
Well, just refresh my memory though. Was Arc 2 the one that they made a big deal with Vin Diesel?
Yes, absolutely. And Vin Diesel's in the cartoon. The cartoon's supposed to lead into Arc 2. And you know what? I'm actually a bad fan because I haven't even watched the cartoon. I'm not really interested in it. I'm interested in playing the game. I'm not interested in watching a cartoon of the game. But yes, this is the one with Vin Diesel, which I think they put in the Game Awards maybe 2021. Maybe it's been a really long time since we've heard anything about it. So that's my first prediction.
That's crazy.
That's a good one. Lord.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. And this is just totally left field stuff, but PSP-like handheld dropped by Sony. And I know that I just feel like they're putting so much stock into the Portal right now, especially with all their streaming shenanigans that they're doing. But man, if we got a PSP like device, I would just be so happy. That would make my 2025. That would be one way for Sony to redeem themselves. A good.
So wait, you think this is like a PlayStation 5 that's portable though? Is that what you're saying? Or this is
it would be
really
like
a PSP?
It would be a PSP. Like maybe PS4 level of graphics on a PSP like device. That would make me so stoked. I would love that. I would buy that in a heartbeat because I'm just like a PSP super fan.
You're a portable guy.
I'm a
You
portable
love a
guy.
portable. Yeah.
Like, I love the portable type of dynamic. So I hope they do that.
I'm a couch guy.
Yeah.
I'm a couch.
So we'll see. Bold prediction.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, I like it. All right, mine, not as happy, is essentially GTA is split into two parts. Unfortunately, both, if not one, but both are pushed to 2026. So of course they're going to do their story mode, which will come out first, and then they're going to make us wait to get the online mode. And when I say wait, unfortunately, I'm guessing maybe 6 months or so. They are going to split these things up. They're not going to launch together. It's going to be a little bit of a bummer, but unfortunately, that's what I think is going to happen, and it's going to be in 2026. What do you think?
Wait, so you think they're going to separate out what you're saying, separate out the online with the game and release them in two parts? That's what you're saying?
Yep. Single player game launches first, maybe beginning, I would say, first quarter of 2026, and then online launches later October, I would say, of 2026.
Well, there was a delay, right, between the online version of GTA 5. There was 2 weeks. And we also know, you and I, from experience, how junky that release was. I think Shoretide is still stuck in a garage. His character
somewhere, yeah. Sorry, buddy.
So that's interesting. Ooh,
man, I'm gonna have to call you Dananon. Because that's such a good. I think you're right. I think half of the reason why they would delay the online is not because it's like not complete, but they're still just raking in so much money from the first game. They don't even want to interrupt it yet. Like, it's simple as that. I think it's going to take a while for them to really like pry their hand off of the current GTA online feature that they have.
They're going to have to eventually, though. Agreed. All right, Maulding, what's your next pick?
So my second one, my second prediction. I wish I had one. I wish I had Johnny Carson's turban, when he did the thing. Is that I think we're going to get a trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 next year, and I think it's going to say coming in 2027, maybe even 2028. I think we're so far away from a new Elder Scrolls game. And everyone's chomping at the bit. We got this little teaser for it 2-3 years ago, I think, and we haven't heard anything since. I think we're really due for a trailer on it. I think we're going to get a little teaser trailer, and it's going to say coming in 2027, and we're going to have to wait until then to get our hands on a new Elder Scrolls game, because I think Elder Scrolls Online is doing really well. It's not the most fun game I've ever played in my life, but they have improved it with a lot of expansions. I think there's been like 6 or 7 expansions for this game. They just put out a new class. I think they're going to really milk that game for a while, as long as they can, before they put out the new Elder Scrolls. That's my prediction.
Not a bad.
Yep, that makes sense.
Not a bad call.
Yeah, makes sense.
I like it.
All right, Lord, are you tapped?
No, I got one other.
All right, let's hear it. Lay it on
Xbox handheld coming out in 2025, and I know they were saying that that's not happening soon. I know they had said all that. That's all BS. They have this thing locked and loaded, and I think the reason why they're kind of delaying is because I think it's going to be a cloud-based system, and I think people want I think they want that, they want that physical media and the ability to download games to the system. And I think they're starting to pivot a little bit. So I think they're kind of saying, hey, it's not going to be around for a while, but it will be in 2025, and it will have gone from cloud to the ability to download the game straight to the system, which we're all hoping for. So I think we'll have 2 handhelds in 2025.
I still think it's going to be online only. I think it's going to be a streaming device.
That'd be such a miss. If that is the case, that's not worth getting at all.
That's interesting. I could see that happening. For my next one, I would say Switch 2 is announced. Finally, we've all been waiting for it. We've seen it leak 500,000 times, and including the CAD designs, and we know exactly what it's going to look like and how it's going to work. But the Switch 2 is finally officially announced, and it will also be announced, because that's not a huge surprise, but the surprise is that it'll have a new Mario Odyssey 2 that will be launching day and date with the system. Now, it's not going to be a pack-in because they're not that nice to us, but Mario.
Remember when they used to do that back in the day? You'd get that Super Nintendo with Super Mario Brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no pack-in for Mario, but he will launch day and date, and they will feature him prominently when they do that Switch 2 announcement. That's my prediction.
I mean, of everything that we've said, I think that's the one that's. Yeah. I almost think that's a shoo-in. You are Nostra-Dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
Officially Nostra-Dumbass.
All right, Maulding, what's your next one?
Yeah, I've got a goofy one. I actually do think I have convinced myself that this is going to happen. I think Call of Duty is going to make a Luigi Mangione skin, and that you'll be able to buy it. I think you'll be able to play as the assassin Luigi.
He is a shooter, so we know he's a shooter.
Not the official. He's the alleged assassin. He has not been convicted. But I think that his popularity is so big. I mean, we've had really silly skins in this game, in other Call of Duty games. I think Nicki Minaj was one in the last one. I mean, I think Luigi is going to be one. And you know what? He's hot, and I'll buy it.
I'm sure a lot of people would
didn't
buy
hear
that
me
skin.
say it.
Yeah. And interesting that he just said he was not guilty. So I'm curious to follow that and see where it goes. But I definitely could see that selling really, really well. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I think it would.
All right. My next prediction that's coming to me, unfortunately, really sucks because I'm predicting another easy one. Price hikes on all of our subscription services, including Game Pass, again in 2025. Thoughts?
Nostra-Dumbass.
Totally accurate. Yeah, that's a Nostra-Dumbass. Complete 100% accuracy. I feel like, man, YouTube TV just launched up their sub service. Everyone copies everything. It's a no-brainer. We're gonna, unfortunately, Game Pass would be like $25 a month
Something
for standard.
I banked it a long time ago just to be safe, but
nuts.
Also, another prediction I have is it's coming to me. I'm seeing it looks like BioShock, but in the Antarctic. That's all of the nerd rumblings and leaks on online. It would be a surprise drop and announcement for BioShock Isolation set in Antarctica. Have you heard anything? Have you thought of this?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
I love that, though. Please be real.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, the next one.
I have one.
Okay.
Something just came to me that
Tell me.
Good Playing With You podcast is going to hit 1 million followers on YouTube in 2025. We're going to hit 1 million.
Huge year for Good Playing With You.
Went right from my head to my balls.
Yeah.
Went right through me.
That is my favorite prediction that you've had so far.
I think it's a good one.
I love it. All right, my next one, it's coming to me. I can see the future, and I would say it looks like Peggle 3 is announced.
Oh, okay.
Peggle 3.
Okay,
More Peggle.
Yes, I know it's left field, but Microsoft, well, this is a EA PopCap game, but who knows, maybe it'll do some sort of deal with Game Pass or something like that. We haven't heard from that franchise in forever, but it's not dead, friends. I'm telling you, it's coming back 2025.
Wait.
Mark my words.
Wait, something's coming to me about that prediction. It's going to be an adult-only game, and they're going to call it Pegging. Pegging 3. Adult only. Ooh, coming to me.
I like it. That now I'm really interested.
I see
in
that. I see it. I see it in my mind's eye.
Okay, I am about to predict the release date of Fable, and it's coming to me. It looks like yes. It looks like with GTA 6 out of the way, Fable wants to sweep the fall, and they choose their 10-year anniversary on October 29th of 2025.
Wow.
Yeah,
I see that 100%. That's a good one. 10-year anniversary.
I look forward to being upset and disappointed in October of 2025 about Fable.
How many other games have launched on their major anniversary? Can we name any off the top of our head?
I mean, not off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm not that big of a nerd.
Exactly. But I like it.
All right. And then the last one, it's a huge one. It's coming to me. I can see the future. It is Valve finally realizes that the two of the biggest software manufacturers, and Sony and Microsoft, are starting to put all of their games on PC. Finally makes their own console that is, goes underneath the TV, and maybe it can be a handheld so that Lord is happy. But I think it's bigger than the Steam Deck, and I think it plays more. And I think they actually put marketing behind it, saying that they want to eat the lunch of both Sony and Microsoft, saying, you know what? Why don't players come where the games are? We've got everything by our system. And that's what I think is going to happen.
If that happens, Xbox is gone. That's the death knell for an Xbox if that happens.
Yeah, I really think that is the way. I think that's the way. I think you're spot on. A good console, at-home console that's marketed right. Yeah,
it would get me too.
It would work. It would work.
They need some sort of achievement or trophy system, but other than that, I'm totally in.
That would help.
100%. Good stuff.
All right, for this week's discussion and topic section, I wanted to surprise you both with a game. Basically, what happened was we got an email from a listener a few weeks back where they're asking about sound effects. Great episode, by the way. And I fell down a rabbit hole when I was looking for the sound effects, and I really came across like so many great pieces of music that were iconic in video games, and I absolutely loved them. So I squirreled them away, and I thought, okay, I'm going to play these for the guys and see which one can name the video game that this piece of music came from. But I want our listeners who are on podcasts or YouTube actually have a chance to play as well. So I'm going to play close to maybe 30 seconds before we get a copyright strike. And then I will turn off the music. I will give you a second and I will signal you guys, and whoever rings in first, then you get a chance to answer it. If you're correct, you get a point. If you're incorrect, the other player gets a chance to steal. Sound good? Any questions?
No,
sounds great. Let's go. I'm excited.
All right. So I'm going to try and start off a little bit easy, but then it's going to get a little bit tougher. So bear with me. Here is our first piece of music. Give me one.
Breath of the Wild.
Yep, you got it. I didn't even say Lord. You're already there. All right. Good job. Did you know that one, Maulding, or no?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I saw your face and I was just like, okay. All right, moving on. Question number 2. Lord.
Metroid Prime?
No, I'm sorry. It's a good guess,
Damn.
but not Metroid Prime. Maulding, can you go for the steal on this one?
I don't know, and I'm going to have to guess. I'm going to guess Metroid Prime.
Also, no. Both of you so close. Unfortunately, this awesome song created for Assassin's Creed 2 was written by Jasper Kidd and has been in almost every single Assassin's Creed ever since they got addicted to it. And it's understandable why, because that one is phenomenal. And I actually have it on a playlist. Okay, let's go to something.
Great. I never would have got that in
it's
a million
so
years.
Beautiful. Yeah,
it sounded good.
It was very pretty.
All right, so the next one up is... All right, Maulding, you were the first one on this one.
Is that Animal Crossing?
That is Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Good job.
Good.
Way to finally get in the game.
Yeah.
I hardly ever played that game.
But good job.
I just started having flashbacks of the pandemic, so it really worked out.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. That's exactly how I felt. That's so funny. All right, reset your buzzer, please, and I'll move on to the next one.
Lord, did you know that one too?
I did. I knew.
All right.
I liked the version. It was fun.
Moving on to number 4.
Batman, Arkham.
Nice guess, but no. Maulding, can you get the steal?
Castlevania?
No, but good guess, because that's also a Moody series. This one was from BioShock.
Oh,
I seriously thought these were going to be so easy for you guys, because these are all
one
kind
of them?
from a playlist. This
All
is the
of
part
them?
with Rapture. Yeah, this is the part where the bathysphere goes down and it goes through.
I mean, listen, I haven't played that in a decade. How am I going to remember that?
Iconic music.
No, that was a good one. It was a good one for sure.
That was a really good one.
All right, number 4 is going to make things a bit easier. Well, for one of you at least.
Maybe.
All right, Lord.
Contra?
Yes, that is correct.
Good one.
That was actually the music from the very first jungle level, and because I kept dying, I didn't know the code for 20 lives for like the first year. That song
up, down, left, right, A, B, start. Right? Was that the right code?
BA, select start, whatever. Yeah. Select start if you have a brother who always has to play with you. All right, moving on to the next one.
Good job.
All right, who wants it?
Oh, I see it. I see it in my head. I can see it.
Neither one of you wants this one.
No, like I have to know this because I love this little jam.
Okay, I'll guess.
Right. Yeah, guess.
Is it Metal Gear Solid?
No, but good guess.
I feel like it's a multiplayer game.
Yes.
Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
It is.
And this one's a little bit tricky because you can change the music and stuff like that. This is the old school kind of music. It was the old school loading screen.
Fortnite?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, it is?
It was Fortnite.
Yes.
But I'll give you the point because you finally got it. And it's
I was going to say, that was a good one, Maulding. Yeah. That was
that was a guess. But I knew I played this with you, Dan. That's why I was like, there's something.
The Save the World, we played so much of that. So I couldn't resist. This music that I'm playing is all pretty much like stuck in my brain. So apologies if you aren't as familiar with these games, but I definitely am. All right, the next one up. All right, who wants it? Maulding, your first one ring in.
Is that Mario Party?
No, but so
No?
close.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
Lord, can you steal it?
It's a Mario. Man, is it Mario World?
No,
No, Super Mario 64.
Yes, thank you. All right.
I was gonna say, I was like, no, this
Another
is it.
game I haven't played that game in 20 years. So
But
I don't know
it's
how I'm
just
supposed to remember that
iconic.
one.
It's just iconic. How could
No, I
you
love
not
it.
know?
No, I know. That one,
All right.
yeah.
Here's another one for you. All right, Lord, you're the first one to ring in.
Fable.
Ooh, close. Very similar kind of type vibes. I definitely spent a zillion hours in this game.
I mean, this is a complete guess because I've never played the game, but it sounds like maybe Ghost of Tsushima.
That's also a really good guess. No, this one was The Witcher 3.
Oh, of course.
So,
of course.
I know just that soundtrack and that sound, like it just takes me back. And I played the game twice all the way through, and it's such a fantastic game.
Is that the opening, like when you're in the start menu, when you're in the menu?
No, I think there was a different song there. This is just the most common theme, like I think when you're riding your horse and stuff.
Gotcha.
So it might have been a little bit tricky, but now
in my defense, a lot of these games when I play them, I'm listening to Howard Stern, so I can't. So I'm not really paying attention to the music.
Like you're missing out, brother.
Well, you're missing
Seriously.
out on Howard Stern. Hey now.
All right, so this one's going to be a deep cut. It's going to be really hard. So this, we can just quickly go through this one. But I loved this one, and I think it's iconic as well. Either one of you.
No. Is that like Jade Empire?
That is a really good guess because it's not too far away from that one. Maulding, do you want to throw in a guess?
Is it Jade Empire?
Shadow
I
of
don't
the
know.
Colossus, one of the best.
I've never played it.
Ever created. Also had a remake. Also played that one. It is, but I knew that was going to be a deep cut and a bit harder.
Yeah.
So
I like that one.
All right, here's one, and the
Good
next
guess,
one
Matt.
up for you guys. Anyone want to guess on that one? Maulding.
Is that Chrono Trigger?
No.
Good
guess.
Is that Visions of Mana?
No, but also good guess. This one
I do like that we're making good guesses. That does make me happy. That everyone is a good guess. I appreciate that positivity.
This one was a little bit tricksy because it's another Mario game. The best Mario games, Mario Galaxy, came from 1 and 2, and this is the theme song. I know, but these are the best ones, and they're truly classic. So I was hoping you had heard of it, but all right. Okay, we have one more left for you guys, and Maulding, you need this one to tie it up. You need this one for the win. Here we go.
All right, here it goes.
And you can just yell it when you know it. All right, some of the most iconic action adventure game music ever created.
Uncharted.
Also, yes, there you go. Thank you.
Maulding.
Good job. All right, that means you tie it up, but we're not going to finish this one right here. We're going to leave it on a cliffhanger, and then we are going to continue this in another fight because you guys are so close, and I need to basically pull some more music eventually.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well,
that works
thank
for
you
me.
guys. I hope they weren't too obscure for you because I love every single one of these games.
No, that was
great.
awesome.
And I wouldn't have got that Uncharted had you not given the hint. So
I probably
just
should have
put it
started
out
getting
there.
more hints. Next time we'll make that a bit easier.
Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps everything we have for this week. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you're listening on a podcast, please tell a friend. And on behalf of Matt Maulding, Matt Lord, myself, Dan Whitehill, thanks for joining us. And as always, good playing with you.
Good playing with you.
Good playing with you.